We're still at the Hall of Fame dinner, and finally, my producer, Corey Nalen, brings somebody over to me that I can relate to, the track star, because everybody knows, Harry MCalla, that I ran cross country and you were a distance runner.
Absolutely.
So you and I could get up tomorrow morning and go take that 16-mile jog together.
I'd like to jog around the campus and reacquaint myself. Can you give me a personal tour?
I
got my Nikes. Do you have yours?
I got mine right there. Harry, when we talk about you as a track star, though, you are, when it comes to Fullerton College, a legend when we talk about it. I mean, when we read about you, and I've always got to look at somebody who goes into track and says, politely, how crazy were you to go into track to be a distance runner?
Well, back in the day, there weren't too many African Americans running distance, and so I was a little bit of a novelty. I was very, very fortunate to have Jim Bush see me run at a couple of meets, and he recruited me down here, and I had a fabulous year with Jim Bush as my coach, Jan Underwood, and Leroy Neal. Just a fabulous run for the whole year. Enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Harry, when I look at the history of you at the track team here, it sort of made me think about the Jim Thorpe story, because I looked at you and basically all you really needed were 3 people on your track team to dominate any tournaments that you went to. At least that's what the story says.
That is exactly what happened. Jan Underwood ran the half, Leroy Neal ran the mile along with myself, and we just, Mount Sac relays, Fresno, Modesto, wherever we went, we were right up front.
One of the things before we let you get back to your dinner, of course, one of my favorite runners who you got to run with, and I thought was the premier miler, Jim Ryan, you ran your fastest mile when you ran against him. So was he that inspiration, or were you just that competition that you figured you could beat?
Well, he was the greatest miler of my era, having run 3:55 in high school. And I was blessed to be in his world record race in Bakersfield in 1967, where he set a world record of 3:51. Had I just fallen across the tape, I would have broken 4 minutes, but I ran 4 flat, so that was a pretty good time.
Harry, when we talk about track and field, though, the obscure sport, really it's not that sport. You talked about it, where normally when we see an African-American go, it's usually a sprinter. So how did you get involved in distance, especially in your era?
Well, I couldn't win the 50 yards that we would run it in front of my house. I couldn't win the 100. But once I started a little deal at my house where we ran around the block, I noticed that nobody could hang with me. So when I went up to Berkeley High School, that's what started me running.
And, of course, when you take as a runner, your running career took you where, and what do you look back as you look at your running career and say, thank goodness nobody could catch me when I ran around the block?
Well, I was able to, of course, travel throughout the United States and Europe and Asia during the time I was in track and field. And it was just a fabulous experience. Even today, I go to the World Championships every other year. I'm hoping to, I would love to go to London, but I'll be in Eugene, Oregon for the Olympic trials. And if God blesses me, I'll be in Moscow in 2013 for the World Championships.